Why is it that two people can stand before the exact same opportunity and make completely opposite decisions? One sees the price tag and instantly backs away, terrified of losing money. The other sees the exact same number and leans in, excited by what it could unlock. They're both human. They both feel fear. But one ends up trapped in the same life year after year while the other builds an empire. The difference isn't luck, talent, or even money, it's how they measure value. Most people are trained to ask, how much does this cost me? But the wealthy ask, what could this give me? What doors could this open? And here's the part no one talks about. This single shift in thinking from cost to potential is the invisible line separating mediocrity from massive wealth. Once you understand how billionaires make decisions, you'll never look at money, risk, or opportunity the same way again. Most people don't realize it, but the very first question that runs through their mind when they see something new is, how much does it cost? Think about it. Whether it's a new phone, a business idea, or even a course that could improve their skills, the instinctive reaction is not excitement but calculation. The brain immediately goes into defense mode. Can I afford this? What if I lose money? What if it's a waste? This way of thinking is deeply rooted in scarcity psychology. For generations, the poor and middle class have been conditioned to see money as something fragile, something that can slip away at any moment. So instead of looking at opportunities, their attention locks onto price tags. They believe saving money is the ultimate goal, when in reality, this mindset keeps them trapped. Here's the hidden truth. When your brain is trained to focus only on cost, you automatically block yourself from seeing value. You start believing that expensive means dangerous and cheap means safe. But ask yourself, has playing safe ever created wealth? Has cutting corners ever led to abundance? This price obsession feels practical, but in reality it's emotional. It's fear disguised as logic. And that's why millions of people stay stuck, never realizing that cost is just one small piece of the decision-making puzzle. When someone is locked into a cost-first mindset, every decision becomes about finding the cheapest option. But here's the paradox. Chasing cheap almost always becomes the most expensive mistake in the long run. Think about it. How many times have you bought the lowest-priced phone, appliance, or even a service, only to replace it months later because it broke, failed, or disappointed you? The poor mindset feels smart for saving money in the moment, but what's really happening is they're paying over and over again for low quality. This doesn't just apply to products, it applies to life opportunities. Many people avoid investing in courses, mentorship, or even starting small businesses because they fear the upfront cost. But what they don't realize is that avoiding the investment keeps them stuck in the same place year after year. By saying, I can't afford it, they unknowingly guarantee they'll never afford it. Billionaires understand that cheap comes with a hidden bill: lost time, lost growth, and lost opportunities. But the poor mindset can't see beyond today's wallet. That's why they get trapped in cycles, working harder and harder, yet never moving forward. In reality, it's not the price that keeps them poor, it's the habit of protecting pennies while losing dollars. Here's the painful irony. The very habit people believe is protecting them, focusing on cost, ends up stealing the biggest opportunities of their lives. Imagine someone offered you a chance to partner in a small business for $5,000. A poor mindset instantly thinks, that's too expensive. I could lose everything. But a wealthy mindset asks, if I put in $5,000, what could I gain in the next 5 years? One sees only risk, the other sees possibility. This is why so many people spend their lives saying no to opportunity. They say no to travel because it's too costly. They say no to education because college is expensive. They say no to investing because the stock market is risky. And without realizing it, they build walls around themselves, walls made of fear disguised as budgeting. But here's the truth. Every time you say no to an opportunity because of cost, you're really saying yes to staying exactly where you are. And over decades, this habit becomes destiny. That's why generations of families can remain stuck in the same financial reality, not because they lack intelligence, but because their mindset filters out opportunity the moment it comes with a price tag. This is the trap of cost-first thinking, and it's exactly what separates the average person from billionaires. When a billionaire looks at a price tag, their brain doesn't scream too expensive. Instead, it calmly asks, what's the return on this? To them, money isn't something you spend, it's something you plant. Every dollar is a seed, and the only real question is, will this seed grow into a tree or will it die in the soil? That's why billionaires don't flinch at what looks expensive to the average person. If a mastermind costs $100,000, but could connect them with partners who open doors to $1 billion deal, the cost is irrelevant. The value outweighs the price. This mindset shift, from seeing money as an expense to seeing it as an investment, is the foundation of wealth building. Instead of asking, how much will this take away from me? Billionaires ask, how much will this give back to me? And here's the critical point. They don't only calculate financial return, they measure return in knowledge, time, access, and leverage. They know the right book, mentor, or tool could save them years of trial and error. To them, paying for speed, wisdom, or efficiency is the smartest purchase they could ever make. This is why billionaires move faster in life. While others debate the cost, they've already taken the leap, because they see what's possible beyond the price. Here's a truth most people miss. Billionaires don't get rich by working harder. They get rich by using leverage, the ability to multiply their time, money, and energy through systems, people, and opportunities. When the average person looks at hiring a skilled employee, they think, that's too expensive. A billionaire thinks, if I hire this person, they can generate 10 times what I pay them. When most people see software that costs thousands per year, they say, I can't afford that. A billionaire says, if this tool saves me hundreds of hours, it's cheap. This is the key difference. While the poor mindset sees cost as a subtraction, billionaires see it as multiplication. They ask, what doors will this open? Not, what will this take away? That's why they never hesitate to buy time, skills, or access, because they know these are the currencies of growth. Opportunity thinking is their secret weapon. Where others see risk, they see potential. Where others back away, they lean in. And because they consistently bet on value instead of cost, their world keeps expanding. It's not that billionaires are fearless, it's that their fear is outweighed by their vision. They understand the greatest danger is not spending money. It's missing the chance to turn money into something far greater. History is full of examples where billionaire decisions seemed reckless at first, until the payoff proved otherwise. Take Jeff Bezos, for instance. In the early days of Amazon, he reinvested nearly every dollar back into the business instead of keeping profits. To outsiders, it looked insane. Why not enjoy the money? Why keep pouring it back in? But Bezos wasn't looking at cost, he was looking at scalability. Today, that crazy choice created one of the biggest companies on Earth. Or consider Elon Musk. He once put the last of his fortune into SpaceX when the company had already failed multiple rocket launches. To most people, that would have been the worst decision possible. But Musk wasn't evaluating the cost of one more launch. He was measuring the value of creating a reusable rocket that could change the future of space travel. That bet turned near bankruptcy into a multi-billion-dollar empire. Even Warren Buffett, famous for his discipline, makes decisions that confuse the average person. When he buys a company, he isn't worried about the upfront billions. It's about whether that company will generate steady value for decades. The lesson: billionaires aren't lucky gamblers. Their secret is that they weigh decisions by value and opportunity, not cost. And often, what looks expensive in the short term becomes the bargain of a lifetime in the long run. So let's step back for a moment. Poor minds obsess over cost because they're trapped in survival mode. They see money as something fragile, something to protect at all costs, and because of that, they miss opportunities that could change their lives. Billionaire minds, on the other hand, flip the script. They don't ask, how much does this cost? They ask, what's the value? What's the return? What doors could this open for me? That single shift from protecting pennies to multiplying possibilities is what separates average lives from extraordinary ones. Here's the truth. Every decision you make is a reflection of your mindset. If you want to think like a billionaire, stop asking, how much will this take from me? And start asking, what could this give me in the long run? Because the moment you shift your questions, your entire reality begins to shift too. And now I want to hear from you. Which part of today's video hit you the hardest? The trap of cost-first thinking, or the billionaire ability to focus on value? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because your perspective might inspire someone else watching this. You've been watching ZINRA, the channel where we break down the psychology and lifestyle of billionaires. If you found value today, hit that subscribe button and share your favorite topic idea in the comments. Your suggestion might just become our next deep dive. Remember, cost is temporary, but value is forever.